Good morning, students. Today's topic for discussion is stress and periodontal disease. To begin with, stress is defined as a state of physiological or psychological strain caused by any adverse stimuli that tends to disturb the functioning of an organism and which the organism desires to avoid. Stress is classified as a risk indicator for periodontal disease. The most notable example is stress and acute necrotizing ulcerative gingivitis. Moving to stress and immune system, stress stimulates the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis, leads to the secretion of cortisol hormones, which have the tendency to downregulate our immune system. Moving on to the role of stress in periodontal disease. Stress, along with the behavior changes, it downregulates the immune response. So, it is very important to analyze the influence of stress on various forms of periodontal disease. Also, the stress decreases the salivary flow and increases the plaque accumulation. So, to discuss this flow chart, stress acts on three important pathways. Moving on to the first pathway, stress triggers the hypothalamus. In turn, the hypothalamus acts on anterior pituitary. The anterior pituitary secretes the ACTH hormone. This ACTH hormone acts on adrenal cortex. Adrenal cortex in turn secretes the cortisol, that is the glucocorticoids, which have the tendency to downregulate our immunoinflammatory response, which leads to the progression of periodontal disease. Moving on to the second pathway, stress acts on the autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system triggers the adrenal medulla. Adrenal medulla have the tendency to increase the secretion of catecholamines, that is the adrenaline and noradrenaline. This catecholamines alter our immune response, which leads to the progression of periodontal disease. The third pathway is stress acts on our behavior. So this are because of the altered behavior, which leads to the poor oral hygiene, poor nutrition, disturbed sleep, cigarette smoking, alcohol consumption. So all these leads to the progression of periodontal disease. Moving on to the health impairing behavior and periodontal disease. So because of the health impairing behaviors like neglected oral hygiene, cigarette smoking, alcohol consumption, disturbed sleep pattern, so all these have the they have the tendency to progression of the periodontal disease. The neglected oral hygiene leads to the increased plaque accumulation, leads to the gingival inflammation. Cigarette smoking impairs the collagen synthesis and increases the matrix metalloproteinase 8 level. The disturbed sleep pattern have the tendency to decrease the growth hormone, which in turn impair the tissue repair response. The various psychological factors affects the choice of food, the physical consistency of diet, the consumption of excessive quantities of refined carbohydrates and soft diets. So they have the probability of increased plaque accumulation. The other behavior potentially harmful to the periodontal tissues are difficulty in concentration, bruxism, and anxiety. Such habits may lead to tooth migration and occlusal traumatism. Moving on to the effect of pro-inflammatory cytokines and glucocorticoids in stressful conditions, interleukin-1 is also known to activate the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis, leads to a feedback loop, which we discussed earlier. The increased level of interleukin-1, interleukin-6, cortisol, and they decrease the level of salivary like immunoglobulin A level found in the gingival clavicular fluid. Moving on to the alteration in T helper 1 cell and T helper 2 cell ratio. The helper T cells, they have divided into two subpopulations, the T helper 1 and T helper 2, based on their cytokine production. The T helper 1 cell stimulates the cellular immunity, whereas the T helper cell 2, they promote the B cell dysfunction and humoral immunity. So Marshall et al., he conducted a study and demonstrated that the T helper 2 cell responses in medical students, that is They promotes the B cell dysfunction in medical students during their stressful working periods. So this shows the importance of the stress in altering our immune response. Moving on to the effect of stress on wound healing. The stress releases highly active hormones like catecholamines, which results in altered blood flow, peripheral vasoconstriction, which may affect the oxygen-dependent healing mechanism, which impairs the wound healing. Moving on to the stress and ANET. The acute necrotizing ulcerative gingivitis is the most studied periodontal disorder in relation to stress. So this psychogenic factor probably predisposed to this disease. The host tissue resistance may be changed. This may reduce the gingival microcirculation and salivary flow. This further facilitates the bacterial invasion and host tissue damage. Moving on to the psychiatric influence of self-inflicted injury. Various neurotic habits such as grinding or clenching of the teeth, nibbling on any foreign objects like pencils, nail biting, and excessive use of tobacco all are potentially injurious to the periodontium. The self-inflicted gingival injuries have been described in both children and adults. Moving on to the influence of stress on periodontal therapy outcome. The stress impairs the inflammatory responses and matrix degradation after the surgery. The greater psychological stress is significantly associated with lower level of interleukins and MMP9, as well as significantly more painful and slower recovery following any periodontal therapy. The depression has a negative impact on periodontal therapy outcome. So moving on to the conclusion, stress can cause behavior modification and immunosuppressive effect. Evidence suggested that stress is associated with more severe periodontal disease as well as healing response to the traditional periodontal surgery. The role of dentists is to discuss the lifestyle in a broader concept than just oral hygiene alone. They should be more psychologically oriented too. So that's all for today's session. Thank you.